Good morning, everybody. Tina and Lucy here. It's Friday. Good morning, Tina. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm good. It's nice and overcast here today, which for us is a treat. Other states, it's the norm and even often a complaint, but for us, it's like, yay, it's overcast.
Is it cooler, though?
Yes, it's cooler and it feels muggier, like it wants to rain.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Well, we've got just changes today to go over. What are we doing today? Because we didn't really talk. We've been both busy.
I wanted to talk about, as far as Amazon news, I wanted to talk about that Amazon has now implemented a new refund policy that begins October the 24th, right at the beginning of Q4 when everyone's too busy to manage their stuff. That's the way they like to do it.
Is this it, the one that you sent?
Yes, I sent it to you this morning, and I sent to you a link to Amazon's policy page that goes over this new policy that they're doing. So some people use Refund Manager software. I'm sure that your software will be very aware of this and handle this for you. For those of you that do it yourself, it's something that you really need to be aware of.
Yes. So are we going through, do you want me to pull up that or this? This looked better on the computer screen.
Well, yeah, I put that together. That's why.
The other one looked, I don't know, it's hard to read. So Amazon will automatically reimburse. Sorry. I can't even say it with a straight face. No, they won't. They aren't going to.
Right, yeah.
They're going to get.
Yeah.
Reimbursement submissions have new timelines. And then let's see, customer return claims can be filed 60 to 100 days. So is this going to be just for November 1st to the end of January?
No, this is their new policy, period. It just begins in late October.
So now everybody's going to have 60 to 120 days to refund? That's obnoxious.
Yeah.
That's super obnoxious.
That's what my understanding is. This is, let me share with the other one link I can share with you here in StreamYard is the link to Amazon's actual policy for FBA customer return. Now, I may be wrong, and this may be only during Q4. So
hold on, I have it up. Let me make sure.
Because I was reading this morning while drinking coffee. Yes, so
I'll put that in chat too here. Yeah, I saw this, but it was really small. So I mean,
yeah. So this is starting November 1st, but yet it says also starting on November 20 or October 23rd down below. So starting November 1st, 2024, we will proactively reimburse you for fulfillment by Amazon items that are lost in our fulfillment centers. We'll issue the reimbursement as soon as the item is reported as lost by the fulfillment center, which you can track on your reimbursements report page in Seller Central. This more seamless experiences saves you time and money, blah, blah, blah. Now, as you guys know, Amazon already misses that. And that's why I am assuming most of you go through this yourself and file these claims yourself, or you have third-party software FBA companies do that for you. And then it also goes on to say that starting October the 23rd, we are updating our eligibility window policy. All manual claims must now be submitted within the following timeline. So the first one starting November 1st, Amazon is just going to automatically reimburse you for what they lost. We all know they're going to miss most everything and reimburse you for some things. So what they're also doing is for the ones that you manually do, your VA does, your third-party company does, this is what's changing. A fulfillment center operation claim for an item that is lost or damaged in the fulfillment center must be submitted no later than 60 days after the item was reported lost or damaged, because historically we've been able to go back much further. So if you're not on top of items that are missed between, no later than 60 days, and let's say it's been 120 days, too bad, so sad, you're out. You're not going to be able to file that claim that Amazon lost your stuff. Additionally, an FBA customer returns, so this is customer returns claim, can be submitted between 60 and 120 days after the customer refund or replacement date. And I believe this is for customers who submitted a return for a refund but never returned the item. That's what I believe this is to be. Claims must not be submitted before the 60 days to ensure the customer has time to return the item for them to process. A removal claim for items lost in transit can be submitted 15 to 75 days from the shipment creation date. Now, what's really bad about this is from the shipment creation date. So I created a shipment today. I sent it out today. But I can tell you for a fact that Amazon is receiving shipments in really late. For instance, I haven't shipped anything into Amazon since like June. I want to say 26th was my last shipment date. Day before yesterday, Amazon received 3 boxes. So I shipped them out over 30 days before they even received them. So that also is not really going to work in our favor because of the slow check-in.
Hold on, I got a question.
Yeah.
Received meaning the Amazon has received it at the warehouse, or they've received all the inventory in and they've checked it all in?
I'm guessing, because they're vague, they don't specify here in Amazon that it's from the day that they receive it, is what I would think by the verbiage of this. So as this gets rolled out, just like their low inventory fees and all the other things that you and I have figured out in the past, I'm sure we will figure out the real deal of this new policy.
Yeah. Interesting. So I have 2 side stories that kind of go along with this. I had a lot of stories today, so that might be, I don't know. People call me for weird shit. Sorry, weird stuff. Try not to curse on YouTube, but I don't know if that even really matters. I'll have to look that one up. But we do try to keep it family friendly here. So I have this one client who's so funny. He's a very southern guy. And I love working with him. And he calls me randomly out of the blue, probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 times a year. And he'll be like, Lucy, and I'll have to go do something for him. And anyhow, this time it was his friend. His friend calls me and he's like, I got your phone number from so-and-so. Because I'm like, who is this?
Who is this country boy?
This other country boy calls me and he's like, I heard you do Amazon. And I'm thinking, oh my God, some wacko on YouTube found me and it's like cold calling me. Like, who are you? So he's like, oh, I'm so-and-so. I'm friends with so-and-so. I'm like, okay, that's just how they run. They're old school like that. And he's like, I got to get you on the phone with my accountant guy because we can't figure out how to get these reimbursement claims going. And so I got on the phone with the accountant guy who was really nice. He's like, I've spent 100 to 150 hours trying to figure out what all of these returns, like how to do the returns and file them and do that. And I'm going, oh my God, that one, I said, I don't know what he pays you, but 150 hours times, we'll just say $10 an hour is an enormous chunk of your time and probably frustration and money wise to be spending on these reimbursements. So I directed him to Seller Board or Seller, whatever, Locker, one of the two. I said, they're all about the same, but you have to kind of run software to get these reimbursements back, because if you try to hand do it, you're going to go crazy. He's like, I'm already there. So he got signed up for that, which was good, because I said, there's no, as far as I know, no easy way to run those reports without said software for those of us that don't write programming or macros or, do it as like a full-time job. It's too difficult to go find the reports you need, figure out, match everything up. That's when you need software. It's crazy pants.
In fact, I will put a link. It's a referral link. I don't really get paid for it, but what you get is your first $100 of money they reimburse free. And what I mean by free is all of these refund services charge about 25% of what they get back. So if they get back for you $100, you get to keep 75 of that money that they get back. And for a lot of people, it can be well worth it, because it's very hard to find this missing stuff, open these cases. Some people find it difficult. I know that there are a lot of services out there. That's just the one that I have been using since the beginning of time. So I thought I would pass it on if anyone is interested.
Yeah, that's what I told them. I'm like, they're all about 25%. And I said, typically the amount you're going to get back, whatever you're paying them, the time that would be spent trying to track that down is not worth the 25%. So I said, if you have whatever $1,000 in sales that's missing, spending $250 is well worth, because they were a pretty big business, so it's going to be quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all the same. I went with Seller Board long ago, and I still have the same rep. They got bought by 3 Colts, and now I get them invoice from Dime Time or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, getting into the 3 Colts platform, it's all wonky. It's really. I love
emails, man. They gotta send me 6 emails a week. I'm like, stop emailing.
I want to acknowledge Nate here this morning. I know I meant to message your wife before we went live. I got her message this morning, so I will call later. April, good morning. Reno, Armand. Nice seeing all of you guys, Melinda and Sherry. I don't think I missed anybody, did I? Good morning, everybody.
Is my phone beeping? Nothing. I'm getting my ASD messages this week. All right, so I wanted to bring my other story with that is I did have another client that is going to go with these third-party collection things, and he sent me a link to somebody else. Somebody else is joining the refund game, and I can't remember what the name was. It was some like chick's name. It was Gertrude or Gabby, or I don't even remember, but it wasn't the big ones.
Names, yeah, I know Getida is one that's always out, and they charge the most. I think it's called Getida. It's Getida.
That might have been it.
They've been around a while, but they charge the highest fee of all.
Oh, really?
Most of the others are 25%. I forget what theirs is, but it's much higher that they keep.
Yeah, I told them like they're all, go with whoever you're comfortable with. On his level of business, we're not talking. It's not going to be enormous. All right, I wanted to bring this one up because we'll talk about our LOA cred for a minute. But Rosenberg, whatever, this guy.
Rosenberg.
Does he go by Ed, right?
Yeah, Ed. But I believe his Facebook profile last year got, how people's Facebook profiles get hacked and taken over. I think that happened, and so he changed it to his birth given name.
I don't know.
And I don't know how to pronounce it. I know that he's Jewish, so I know it's a very, Jewish pronunciation, and I'm not really sure how to say it correctly, but he does go by Ed, which is easy for the rest of us. I'm going to say it's Ephraim is my guess of how you would pronounce it, but yeah, Rosenberg.
Anyhow, he says, would you support an ASGTG, which if you go to this guy's website, if you type in ASGTG website, they have a slew of lawyers, platforms. If you need to sell your business, if you need to get a lawyer, like go there because they've been vetted and it's a legit place. So I always have that one bookmarked. But would we back a seller association? The goal would be to hire lobbyists to lobby Congress and force Amazon to stop bad behavior, and an overwhelming positive response on that guy's post. So we've been, long story short, with our accounts, everybody is currently still getting denied on their appeals. And what's weird is they have been sending out denials in batches. And so like I'll submit appeal, Tina will submit appeal, and somebody else will submit appeal. And all of the rejection emails go through on like Tuesday at 1:36 p.m. And we've been documenting that. And it's now to the point where I called yesterday and I said, what are the notes? Because I get a generic response on why it's being denied. And the lady said, I don't see any notes. Like there's no notes. And I said, well, that's like, you got to tell me something here. There's got to be some sort of reason or more information. So she escalated it and said it was going to take a couple of days for that escalation because they're really busy, yada, yada. And I'm going, well, aren't we all, lady? But they're not giving really good responses or anything. And the other people that have called, it's coming down to, they're saying that anytime you have another brand within your bundle, you're going to need to have a separate LOA for each one of those brands. And there's been several people that have letters of authorization, LOAs, that are still getting denied. So we're like, okay, even if you have LOAs, you're getting denied. And if you don't have LOAs,
you're policy either. It's not part of their policy. It's nowhere in their policy that it is even required. And in fact, somebody else who is known for teaching people how to do bundles, just can't believe any of this, and opened up a case asking Amazon, and their account is not suspended, and asked Amazon, do you need letters of authorization when creating and having bundles? And Amazon in their case log back to this person said no.
It also goes for even creating single listings. Let's say a new Oreo flavor comes out and you have the ability to list Oreos, and you get your Oreos from a wholesale distribution center and you list them with Oreo barcode under Oreo brand. They're saying that you're going to have LOAs for that as well, which is not in anything. So that's just the rumor part. Now, what is happening is it looks like we're going to go class action suit, which my husband was like, great, you're not going to see a dime for that. in 20 years, you'll get $52 for your class action suit. But there's really no other option, along that route. I'm going to have my lawyer escalate as soon as I get my newest response from Amazon, and I'll have that escalation. But I did sign up to be part of the class action. I saw your name on there too, right, Tina?
Yes. Yeah, my name is on there too. And I did see jumping in after we greeted other people, Swamp Picker and Heather. Good morning, you both. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Good morning. And then, I don't know, do you know anything about class actions, like how they flow or?
No, I don't, because I'm not a lawyer. I've cut the hair of many, many lawyers over the years of haircutting. But yes, I've never been a part of one. I will say that I have been the recipient of quite a bit of money because of them, because my grandfather had been involved in one. And I knew that it took for his case many, many years. In fact, he passed away before that settlement had been reached. So, my grandmother, now my mother even has continued to get small payouts from this class action. It was a really big one though. So I only know that there was a lot of wait time. There's a lot of waiting. Years go by before it's ever resolved. Now, that is that kind of a case, right? Like what was the Camp Lejeune type of, remember when they do those kind of commercials? I think those take many, many years. A case like this, I would guess, is much quicker, but I don't know.
I want to use it as like pressure for them to get their shit together. Sorry, I did it again. Oh my God, that's twice today. It's a really bad day. Apologies. But
I'm sure that probably most everybody watching uses that word.
I hope so. I was trying to find, why is it not? There was another FTC rule. Fudge. I'll look at it up, but there was another case this week.
Oh, yeah. And I didn't listen to that. Did you? Are you talking about the gentleman that we both know that was speaking?
Yeah, I think it was tied up with the FTC, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was. Yeah, he was invited to speak before the FTC on behalf of all of these Amazon shenanigans that have been going on.
Yeah, let me see. Give me a second to find it here. I know it was recent, but for some reason, I don't have news. This is irritating. See, I have FTC court case, but why don't I have news? This is from 2023. There was a new one.
Well, and while I can try to find the link to that exact one if you'd like me to.
Yeah. The link to the thing. So one of the peoples in our group went live on the FTC has some sort of broadcast. Is that my understanding?
Yes.
And he was on there speaking on behalf, and it was something with deactivating accounts without prior cause. and not the right cause, something to that effect. Yeah, I'm going to need you to send it to me.
Okay. Oh, and the guy that's okay, interesting. So now, that's just something for mostly me to know. I found the link and I'm going to give it to you right now.
Send it over. Send it over.
I'm going to send it to you right now in our private chat. Okay, so I just reached out to this guy just this morning. So I didn't realize that it was him. But now, oh, the pieces are coming together. Okay, so I sent this guy a message just this morning, the one who is that spoke. This open commission meeting is the link that I just shared with you. That happened on August 1st, just yesterday.
Yeah, so yesterday, it was like yesterday at 7 a.m. And I'm like, I'm not waking up for that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Not going on. Can I share this?
Of course.
Okay. Let's see here. So he got on and spoke with everybody. Does it tell me anything? No. I don't want to play it for us, but what is
right.
it?
Yeah, but there is also a link down below where you can click on the different meetings, and there may be something that is a write-up about it.
The pricing, right?
Strike force on unfair and illegal pricing. Yes. And he did a very quick video on it about how Amazon was enforcing these unfair pricing on Amazon, especially during COVID, right? When they were slamming people for high pricing errors. And so I didn't listen to this, but I do know his agenda, and he is finding screenshots where Amazon is violating their own unfair and illegal pricing. So for instance, you may be on a listing that Amazon slaps you for a high pricing error, but Amazon themselves is on that listing and selling it for twice as much as you are, yet they're slapping you with pricing things unfairly. So it's like they're violating their own policy that they are enforcing upon its sellers.
This had to go back with COVID, right?
This had to go back with COVID, and I think even recently Amazon is still doing that, because I know from time to time people do get high pricing warnings and errors on their listing.
Yes, so that's where that is. Now that my memory is jogged, it is slightly different than the class action. Ours is going to be about unfair policy. They are still doing it. Yeah, absolutely.
They're still doing it. So, you might be selling the bar of Dove soap for $12.50. And, whatever you source it for after Amazon's high fees and everything else, you're maybe profiting $1.50. So it's not like you're really doing high pricing to where you are being exorbitant in what you are profiting off of it. And then on that very same listing, Amazon is selling on it as well. You're competing against Amazon. Amazon is charging it double your selling price, that they are slapping you for a high pricing error.
So the argument stems, or there's lots of layers to all of these cases going on. And one is, it's an online shopping thing. Nobody's putting a gun to your head to shop on Amazon, right? You can go to the store and buy whatever you want. So that argument is being used a lot, that these cases should be thrown out because it's its own third party, it's its own platform that is not, they're selling soap and whatnot. It's not critical. The other half of it, though, is price gouging and the price competitiveness, like Tina just outlined, and things like when there's a hurricane, charging triple or quadruple or 300 times the amount for necessities such as water, first aid kits, things that are needed during those times, that they can't just take those opportunities of hurricanes and tornadoes and jack the price up for those types of life events. I mean, nobody really cares if curling irons are pricing is out of control, because you can go get mini curling irons or Dove soap or whatnot. And then ours is going to be focused around unfair shutting down. There's been a slew of that, mostly around bundle policies and parent-child variation listings, which we are still
That's
battle.
right. And on that note, somebody else was just deactivated and posted in Ed's group this morning that they were deactivated for the variation issue, and they satisfied it with the catalog team. The catalog team reactivated the listing because they proved that it really wasn't a violation of variation policy, which is what happened to me. I had a variation that Amazon said wasn't like a legal variation according to their policy. I was able to show it was. I got the listing fixed, but then a week later I was deactivated. That is what happened to this person. So seller support, as far as with getting their account back, is saying that they violate it, and they said that the catalog team says that they didn't, and so this department wants the catalog team to tell them that it's okay. It's the way that the situation is going. So in true Amazon fashion, one department isn't talking to another department. What they say okay, they say is not, and you're deactivated. But you're following suit of an Amazon department that even helped walk you through it and said, okay, you're compliant now. But this department shuts you down for it. So there's no consistency across the board.
No, and they don't talk to each other.
Right.
They will not talk to each other. Right. I had something similar where I finally got my clearance on one listing that's been weeks in the works of fighting. And it was for toy compliance. So the item was taken down, listing page deactivated, and it said it was because it was targeting children. Okay, I go and I look at the thing and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. Kid is in the title, kid is in the back end, kid is in the bullet points, kid is in the style. And I'm like, so I got to always undo what people do, which is fine. So basic editing wouldn't work. I had to take it off the parent. That still wouldn't work. I tried to flat file it. That wouldn't work. I wound up having to delete the listing, wait 24 hours, relist it with a flat file. That didn't work. The second one finally got it to override, but I did have to open a case in between to get the winning contribution back into my name and not Amazon's name. But they don't always tell you that. So that's kind of fun to play with if you don't have the winning contributions.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting? Like you like me, we work with very, very different companies, helping them with their Amazon accounts. So I work with one guy who's a small mom and pop, like most of us, on Amazon. And we tried to update his bullets, and Amazon wanted proof and validate. They wanted everything, right? Then I'm working with a very well-recognized brand, JBL, the speakers. And I go in their account yesterday because there was an error with a UPC code and a title being like the wrong model number. I went in there, updated the listing like we used to in the good old days. Not only did it immediately update, there was no questions, there was no emails, there was no automatic cases opened. It fixed it immediately. And I mean within seconds. There was no 15-minute window wait time. There was no anything. And so Amazon definitely favors some accounts over other accounts, in my opinion, when I work with mom and pop, which is most of us, versus when I work with well-recognized name brand companies. So I find that very interesting also.
Oh, it's crazy. The other slew of deactivations is over third party, like being related to other accounts, and also addresses. I got to read up because there was a slew of people that got deactivated that have virtual addresses, and I don't know what the solution is. So if you are listening to this, you may want to go look at the Facebook groups and see what's going on there if you use virtual addresses. Because I know a lot of people outside of the country use virtual addresses in the United States so that they have a U.S. address so they can get a U.S. account.
Yeah, and people have been deactivated for being at somebody's house and just using their Wi-Fi, right? Because it related you as accounts. And I know we've talked about that before. Another point is there are so many sellers that have been deactivated for possibly selling counterfeits. And they have proven that they're not counterfeits by way of submission of their either brand recognized stores. Like let's say it was Nike shoes that you actually bought from Nike, on their website. Amazon is not accepting that or invoices when you've legitimately bought the shoes. Yet there is constantly counterfeit sold goods in the sports arena on Amazon as well, be it things related to a celebrity. Like I will go in here and type up Kobe Bryant here. Let me share my screen.
Share your screen. And I did find that post with the variations, so I can
Okay,
share that.
so I'm going to share screen. All right, so I typed in here Kobe Bryant gift just for the heck of. Now, right away, this has got to be a counterfeit. Whoever this
Walmart.
Yeah, it's wall art, but it's with his image. Do you think that?
Right. So not counterfeit, but IP.
IP. I'm sorry. Yes, IP. So that I would assume, just right at a glance, that this is probably an IP. I don't know that this could be considered IP or not. I don't know if that's like their official logo. I'm not a big sports person. Kobe Bryant was just the one that came to mind. Is this possible IP? Something like this, his Mamba inspiration. I don't know, but my hunch is a lot of these, like this one as well, is not allowed. This is not official Kobe gear. What about this Lakers keychain? Would this look possible IP and it's being branded as generic? My guess is that this would be considered an infringement, or can you call it counterfeit because you're branding it like it's Lakers? I don't know.
Well, you got to be careful because that kind of stuff is sold all the time at ASD. And some of those places, if you ask them if it's official merchandise, they will tell you no. And so you gotta know that.
Yeah, and then the problem is people are getting shut down because I have bought Nike shoes from the Nike store with an official Nike receipt, proven that I bought it with my business account, credit card, paid for it, and I'm going to get deactivated. But Joe Schmo over here can sell some Laker whatever branded keychain and poster, and that be okay. And so it's really like an unfair of policing.
Thank you, Nate, so much.
Yeah, that's so sweet. Because we're two broke girls over here struggling to get by.
Is that the case? I did sell between when I left the office yesterday and this morning, I have like 6 or 8 eBay orders. So I'm excited that that's picked up. I did a big push last night to get a lot of listings done on eBay, but it's just irritating. Okay. So I want to talk about hijacking and listing really quick because I had to explain this to a client yesterday, and I do explain it quite a bit, but I'm going to use this mirror as an example. I get a lot of clients that will come on and they'll be like, oh, I found this mirror on Alibaba. Can I list it on this listing? And the short answer is you can, but should you? No, you're not supposed to list it on there. And if you go and see this mirror, this pink heart mirror is my example thing. We've got, what was that, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 Alibaba listings on here. 7, 8, 9.
This is a very common question.
Very common question. And so people don't understand that if you're going to go that Alibaba route, whether it's Alibaba, private label, your own brand, whatever, you got to have your own listing. And what he did, though, is he created a listing and he sent in his product and he got his own product. He does coffee, which I need to become better friends with him. And he's an interesting guy. He does commercial real estate and sells coffee on the side and things that go with coffee. So anyhow, he has somebody else selling on his listing. And he's like, how'd they do that? So I had to go over well, you're not brand registered and your trademark isn't through yet, so you can't really do anything to get the other seller off. Well, where are they at? China. It was a China address. Same with, I had one last week too. Same thing. Where are these people? How come they're selling on my thing? They're drop shipping from China. Why is the ship date 2 weeks out? They're drop shipping crud from China. And I could totally do that. I could go copy this ASIN, apply to sell whatever brand this is, and then find it on Alibaba, set up a shipping template to drop ship it from the manufacturer over in China, with a 2-week lead time, and that's how they're doing it. And that is pretty much allowed on Amazon. It's unprovable. Like if you even say that this is a complaint and it's, not the right brand, all they're going to do is show invoices and it's all fine. Although invoices from China don't work very well. Kind of have to.
I had a lady get deactivated, and part of her story, it was a very horrible story, but part of her story was that Amazon was not accepting her Alibaba invoice for her item that she got. And again, being a new seller, not knowing that that wasn't allowed, she lost her account.
Yeah. So if you do jump on a listing like that, you really need to vet out to see if who you're jumping on is got trademarks and stuff. Because if they have trademarks and officially registered, they will send IP complaints out on you, and your invoices from Alibaba are not going to work. Now, what was interesting is I can write Tina invoices because I have a brand that I have the trademark for, and I can write invoices and authorizations for Tina when she uses it. But I'm screwed because I can't write mine for me, which makes no sense. So that route is being kind of looked at as well, because
it's like, why can't the brand owner have rights to their own brand?
Right. If I'm the brand owner, why can't I write myself a letter of authorization? Like, I should be able to show
the letters of authorization Amazon is not even looking at or accepting because it's never been part of their policy and they don't even know what to do with it.
And that was one of the arguments that somebody went back and forth with them. They said, it's not in your policy to require LOAs. Well, we're going to do it, but you don't require it now. So why are you, it's not there now. We're following policy as it is written right now.
Yeah, and what's interesting is the way that you've always had to appeal a case before, there was like a proper appeal button and window and section in an Amazon account. And I think for a lot of cases there are. However, in this recent wave of deactivations, this doesn't even exist because they don't even know what they're doing with it. So there's not even a real appeal button and option. There's no real dialogue, no real case logs for it. It's all the most bizarre situation. And then what's further slap in the face and insult is now Amazon, because of all the mess that they have been creating, have been emailing or sending messages to sellers saying, this listing we're removing it. They're giving people a chance to fix the things that they don't like so you don't lose your account. And I think that they're sick of all of the people messaging them and trying to open up cases and send their letters of authorization and all the thing that they're ignoring and just sending out like this automatic 1-sentence rejection letter without notes. So it's all very interesting what is going on at Amazon and within Amazon. And it really makes me wonder who's running it. Who's in charge of this nonsense? Is it one person or is it different people at different departments at Amazon who don't talk to each other? We will never know.
Well, I think the bots have gotten too involved on some of the things. I found that thing, the variation listing guy that you mentioned a little bit ago. And what these are is, and you might be getting hit if you do retail arbitrage, online arbitrage. I don't know if I've seen some people who are on listings that are kind of, why is this listing going down? What do I do with this inventory? If the listing goes down, it's not there. And what I learned from the catalog team is that, if you're going to have your coffee cup, the violation is you need to say coffee cup for moms and then dash best mom ever or number one mom or whatever that variation is, whether it's red, blue, green. And they're taking down any listings that the child title does not follow that standardization. And so
says we got one of those letters. And are you talking about one of those letters like here's a warning and you have a chance to fix it so we don't deactivate you letters? I'm guessing that's what you mean.
I don't know. But what I was saying is a lot of people are not fixing them because if they're not on it, they're not going to fix it. So those that have arbitrage items, all of a sudden the listing is screwed up and you can't do anything but recall.
Mhm.
Did you say yes?
Yep, he sure did. Yeah, after everyone got deactivated, Amazon was flooded with people messaging them like, "Why did you deactivate us?" Yeah, and now they're sending out those type of letters like, "Look, we don't like this. You know, you can fix it, and all will be well with the world." And that's what's going on now with people. So it seems as though they're kind of done with that deactivation wave, and now figuring out what they will do with that. So for me, I have been continuing to work in my clients' accounts for Amazon, and I still continue to work within Amazon, even though I haven't been on Amazon for a month now, going into my second month. But I am still actively working within Amazon and keeping on top of all of the news and the policies and the things happening. But for myself personally, as you guys know, I have been doing eBay every day. I have pulled out all of my inventory from Amazon and I'm working with people possibly buying it and selling it themselves since I've got good stuff. So I'm working on that.
So that's an interesting one. You might become like a distributor for private label things.
You know, you never know, because my items were not brand name driven items, and so my things were not. Actually, most of my things actually were not bundles. They were listings and they were variation listings. So I think Amazon didn't like me doing variations of things that were legitimately legal variations. I think my situation is like that other person. Like they proved to catalog team, like this is a legit variation. Catalog team is like, yeah, you're right. But then this team over here says, no, we don't want that. I think, you know, in hindsight, as I learn more and more and really analyze what do I have now that I'm opening up a billion boxes every day, going, well, all of these things aren't bundles. Did I still have bundles? Yes. But I was really getting, you know, I was always evolving my Amazon business to keep up with changes and fees. And that's another story. So I'm constantly rebranding, redoing what I sell on Amazon to keep up with the times and the changes and what is currently selling. I went on a sidebar. So in the meantime, so one thing is I am working on that. The other side is that I cannot get into Walmart. It is going to boil down to me getting a new LLC and a new EIN number to apply. That's another challenge I have going on. And right now, I'm just not going to invest in the cost of another LLC because that's going to cost me almost $600 to do just to get into Walmart. And right now, I'm just not at that point.
You could use mine if you wanted.
What, your Walmart account?
Yeah, if you want to go in and make listings.
I was going to say, you have a Walmart account. I can't use your EIN. So, okay. And then the other thing is I have been really working on eBay. So Nate, who is in the chat, he and his wife are friends of mine. They live in my city, and they have been a great support and help to me with eBay. And I know how to do eBay, so that's a plus. I know how to resell. I know how to shop, right? I have a lot of skills. So I never gave up eBay. I just didn't really do much in eBay. So my first week and a half, I mean, I just wasn't making any sales. I'm spending more than I'm making, like it is with anytime we begin reselling. And like all people starting, I want to make money right now. I want to make 20 sales a day right now on day one of me being a new eBay seller. We should miss is real, right? Because I have got to replace this whole Amazon business. And so I'm also like relearning eBay, and not in the way of how does it work, but what's hot now on eBay? What's the stuff to look for now? What can I get now? What is in my city now? And so it's been a lot of hunt and working with other Amazon friends who are so kind to reach out to me and watching a lot of YouTube videos. So I am now to the point where I have finally gotten it to where I'm making sales every single day. And so that's really nice. I was in the green. I didn't finish my whole July numbers, and it's not impressive because I'm just under $400 profit for the month of July on eBay. That is not going to pay my bills, people. That's not going to pay my bills. But, as I keep snowballing that and rolling that over, and I do believe I can get it there. I would like to do it faster than that I am. but I am really getting the hang of it. And I've been dabbling with not only shopping at bins, different thrift stores here in town. I have been doing some online auction thanks to Nate's wife, Elizabeth, who showed me some tricks because they shop at this site. And so we have gone now for 2 different pickups. We just got some of those things listed yesterday, so I can't report that I've sold anything from my auction buys, but I'm excited to see how that might pan out. I will tell you that it's for a boat. I wish I could tell you what it's called. It's like a thing that goes by the engine. I know nothing about boats. And I bought this on auction for $2 because nobody was bidding on it. Nobody bid on it. I was the only bidder, and I won it for $2. And these are all items that are from Amazon. So this item on eBay sells for $50. So I just listed it last night. And, I'm looking to make sure all these things have sell-through rate. I bought a heating, it's like a heating pad for a massage therapist.
Oh yeah.
It was on eBay for $45. I bought it for $4.
Nice.
So I bought some fun things on this site. I've just been like looking around at random things and just trying to source on there to see how that'll work. We've been buying stuff ourselves on this auction site because the prices are just insane.
Okay, send me the site.
Yeah, but I will say what's really nice is they do take returns. I was a little afraid to buy some of the things because most all of this stuff is from Amazon, and these are Amazon returns. So returns can be because the item is used, broken, switcheroos, all the things, right? And so there was a couple of electronic things. I was a little bit afraid to try electronics because I'm like, well, what if the customer returned it because it really doesn't work? And I saw that they have a return, that you can make returns there. So my husband bought for himself for $8 a watch like my Apple Watch, but it's a
Off-brand.
off-brand watch, and we got it for $8. And when we got in the car, it had the outlet to plug into your car to charge the watch. Doesn't work. So we did get something that doesn't work. Well, I went on there yesterday when we got home to click the little return button, but it stopped there. Like there was no instructions on how to return, where to return. So there's like a little chat where you can open up a case. So I did that. I opened a case. I'm waiting for them to email me back. I have 2 more items I have to pick up at the other location. And when I go there to pick up, if I haven't heard from them, I'm going to be like, look, I bought this watch. It doesn't work. How do I return it? So it's been addicting shopping on there. In fact, last night was the first night we didn't go on there. So I'm just like, I got to stay off for a minute. And this morning I woke up to a sale of some pants that are by, it's a brand of Anthropologie, which I know is really popular, Anthropologie. I bought these at the bins. So, I mean, they couldn't have cost me over $2. The bins are like $1.70 a pound. These pair of pants are maybe a pound at best, right? $1.70. I sold them for $45. So I really like the profit margins eBay has to offer. That's been fun. And I woke up to another sale that doesn't jump out at me because the pants were, to me, a big win. I was like, the day at the bins that day, it was from my haul where I shared with you the golf bag a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that entire haul that day at the bins was, and the golf bag wasn't from the bins, it was from the Goodwill, but it was, I shared some of the things that day. My entire bin haul was $30 that day. That was my whole bill. I sold the pants for $45 from that day. I sold a woman's blouse from the haul that day for $28. And I sold a bag. It was a Lacoste bag, like duffel bag, something like, I think that was the brand of it. And I sold that, I want to say, for $15. So from the 3 items from my $30 haul that day, I've already paid back that $30, and I'm now profiting on it. But Dandy wants to know, what is the website? It's really here locally in my city, so you have to be here to pick it up. I don't know that they ship. Anyway, it's called Nellis Auction, but I think you have to live here. I don't know that they ship out of state. I'm trying to look online, and it looks like you can also, and they're in Arizona. So they're in Las Vegas and Arizona. But they have you pick up at the warehouses. So I don't know that benefits people out of state.
Yeah. I was gonna say I have not like calculated profits or anything like that, because it's like my inventory is just sitting there. I need to get any capital back from it right now.
This is your eBay.
This is eBay, so I've made
July the whole month.
Yes, I've made just over $1,000 in sales in eBay. And you can see it started picking up about a week or so ago.
I think I'm right there with you, somewhere with you. I'm going to pull up mine right now, see if I can find it real quick.
And then we did have a couple of questions on YouTube questions for things, so I thought we'd go through that real quick. Are you sharing yours right now, or did you want
to? Every time I try to click the button, my computer screen is jumping around.
What?
And
how does it jump around?
I mean, sometimes when you try to click and it wants to, like, the page wants to move up. Yeah, here is mine. This is my first full month of being a full-time eBay reseller. I hope to be able to share this again, next year at this time, and see how far I have come. So for me on eBay, look, it goes to the 3rd to the 2nd. I got to change the dates. Custom from, let's do July 1st to July 31st. And I did 1546. I wasn't much different from you, with 54 orders. And the selling here's a selling cost here. So I made the $850. But the reason why I said that I made just above 300 is because I also deducted what I spent on all of that merchandise. So.
Yeah. And that's the part I don't have, because
profit, right?
Because I haven't tracked that yet.
And look, I worked hard to get that little bit of money, because I started from scratch. And so not only was I out having to shop, source, watching videos, trying to learn, reaching out to friends. In the same time, I'm also working in my clients' Amazon accounts, doing coaching calls, dealing with Amazon appeals, attorneys, and having to put in removal orders from Amazon, getting a cajillion boxes at my house every day, having to open those up, count out the inventory, organize the inventory. So this was me being a full-time eBay seller, doing it part-time. So it's not because I'm ashamed of the numbers, but it's because I'm saying, look what you can do. If you have a full-time job, and go to work, you can put in as much effort into eBay as I did. And for that being my first month, that's not too shabby, considering all the other stuff I had going on as well.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I get messages every day that I'm low in stock. I love those. Thank you. That I need to create removal orders. Then I have 100 removal orders open. I keep removing things, and you won't send them to me. So quit yelling at me, Amazon. And then other just BS, like, we're low in stock in this.
Yeah.
So let's nail through these questions really quick, because we're getting towards the end here. Somebody said, let's see here, question about name and bank statements match, but didn't. For bank statements, they're asking about the matching on the bank statements. Your bank statement needs to have, I believe, your name, your company name, and your address associated with the company. So if I'm Lucy and I have Lucy's Emporium at 123 Main Street, my bank statement needs to match what my Amazon statement does. So a lot of people either leave off the business name or their first name off that bank statement, and that's why it gets rejected. So take a look at that. Amazon counterfeit claim from another seller. So now they have a fake seller. We kind of already talked about fake sellers. There's not a whole lot you can do about fake sellers. It's unfortunate. And for counterfeit claims, they're having a little bit of shakeup with that too, on what invoices are being accepted and not accepted, which ties into the ungating. Somebody tried to use ungating with a Kohl's packing slip. Packing slips are not invoices. You cannot use packing slips for any ungating. You cannot use packing slips for any IP violations. You have to use invoices. Kohl's invoices need to have your name and your business name preferably on there, or some sort of tie to your business account. So a lot of people will go in, they'll make sure that the account has their name and address, and they'll use a card that's associated with their Amazon account so they can tie it together. What if I ordered 10 units for Target, but they shipped them in 2 orders and they gave me 2 different invoices? Will they approve 2 invoices of 9 units and 1 unit? Not from Target. Target is, from Target. Target is not an authorized distributor. Target will not do it. So you're wasting your time with Target. Sorry. It doesn't matter. Now, if you have say you use Frontier Co-op to get a grocery, and they do that with your order of cinnamon or 5 Spice or whichever one you're using, you can have more than one item on one invoice, but I think it all needs to be on one invoice. Do you remember off the top of your head if you can do 2 invoices for combined units?
If it's from the same supplier, I think. If it's from 2 suppliers, I'm not sure. I would say if that's the way I had it, I would certainly try it, because people have had been successful with using Kohl's and having them on different invoices from Kohl's.
For ungating, I want to say it all needs to be on one invoice, and the packing slips it can come in different, like 2 different boxes, but the invoice will have the 10 units.
Denise says you can ungate.
Oh, really?
She just did. And look, maybe Amazon just picks and chooses, because historically they've never allowed Target. So it's interesting, because I engaged with Target as well, Denise, but years ago, ago, when all I had to do was a receipt, and you only had to buy 3 things.
Yeah. So Denise, was it within the last 6 months, or was it? She said she just did it, so I'm going to say that's recent.
Yeah, she said, she was surprised. And that's why I say, try it. Don't go buying, high-end, PlayStations and getting 10 of them and then returning them, right? If
it works, it works. Great.
It's always worth a shot. I always say try it. And I'm assuming you purchased it online, so you could download that online order, not a store receipt. And then I know a word that I have used in my language to Amazon when fighting counterfeits or, possible situations like that. I have submitted receipts at that time from when I have bought something, let's say at Walmart. I won one with a Big Lots receipt. I forgot why Amazon wanted the receipt. It wasn't suspected counterfeit. I wish I could remember. I even did a video on it last year.
I remember you talking about it.
And it was Big Lots. And I used a Big Lots receipt. But the wording I use, is from a nationally recognized big boxed authorized reseller of said brand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, interesting. So they have the wording invoice on the receipt as well. What's really interesting about this is Target is not reseller friendly. So it's interesting to me that Target has the word invoice on the receipt. Very interesting.
I'm wondering, because they're going with you're seeing more and more like third-party places on Target. Whether it's, I don't know if it's big brands or what, but sometimes you go on and it's like, wait a minute, it ships from somewhere weird, not Target, and it's under a thing. So just kind of like Walmart, Target is going that third party rep type place, but it's not for resellers. It's for like other brands they're, like coordinating with or co-oping with. Mm-hmm. So somebody here says that they quit going to the UPS stores because they are franchises and they don't get paid. That is absolutely right. I had to stop at the UPS store. So I have Mr. T. Mr. T is I call him Mr. T just because of the reference to Mr. T. Anyhow, he's not anything like the Mr. T of
I see. I was imagining he had a mohawk and wore a lot of chains.
No, he's like the opposite of a Mr. T. But anyhow, I've called him Mr. T for 15 years. So he has we've sat and talked business before, and he's like, I don't get nothing for the Amazon returns and for, FBA deliveries. So that's why he prefers me to holler at my lady to get the UPS picked up, because he doesn't get anything and it takes up a lot of space. So he really hates it when you go in there with like 15 FBA boxes, because like, where's he going to put it? He's got a little store, and he has been getting squeezed by Amazon. Like every year he'll say, I'm getting less money and getting more boxes, getting less money. Now I have more returns, and it eats up counter space. Same with me and my husband have this fight all the time, because he'll do the returns and then he'll just go to Mr. T's and have him scan it and pack it. And I said, he doesn't make any money off that. Like, we have enough empty packages. Just package it yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm like, don't bug him.
Because our little local store that we drop off our Amazon, or did drop off our Amazon FBA shipments at, if it was a box that I'm sending into FBA and he scans it, he tells me he likes getting those because those are the ones he does get paid for. He says we get 50 cents a box. So when
me dropping off 15 boxes that are all 30 pounds is not worth 15 cents a box.
Well, he says he likes it. He's like, we like it. He goes, because we make 50 cents a box on these. So he's happy with that.
Well,
yeah, he's like, bring them. He's like, he said, now, like on the other scenario, like you said, he goes, those we don't like. He says, but if you want to drop, because the people come pick up twice a day from their store. It's a pretty busy store, I guess. And he's like, yeah, you bring them. He's like, they're happy to take it.
Huh. All right. Heather just said, had a successful ungate with Target too. So awesome.
That's really cool news. Look, rumors spread.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. So we might announce you can or you can't, whatever, whichever way. And what happens is people will watch this and they're like, I can't do it. Why can't I do it? Why, can you look at my invoice? Can you look at this? What's wrong? And it's the same standard thing every time. Amazon may or may not accept your invoice on whatever store, depending on how they feel that week. One, with these box stores, whether it's Big Lots, Walmart, Target, whatever. But there are certain wholesalers, which if you're watching on my channel, I have them down below. I think I have them down below, that are common wholesale sites that are accepted with invoices. That's been proven over and over. They've never really been denied. But if you are denied for whatever reason, it's typically you have something on the paperwork wrong. You're trying to do a packing slip. That'd be like the number one. Your name doesn't match up. That's like number two. And number three is there's something else going on with your invoice that is incorrect. There's always something incorrect whenever I have helped anybody with their invoices. Am I selling on Walmart? Myself, no. I've debated making my listings over there. I'm trying to get them up on eBay before I lose all of the content, because like the pages will stay, whatever, the history cached forever for so long. So I'm getting everything over onto eBay, and then I may start cross-posting, whatever, the ones that had the most inventory over onto Walmart. Whether I do WFS, Walmart Fulfillment Center, or not, I'm not sure, because I do manage an account that I run both merchant fulfilled and Walmart stuff, whatever they're Walmart WFS. I can't get that one to roll off my tongue, but I do both the orderings for that. So I run a Walmart account, but my Walmart account, I have not started populating it with any of the stuff with Amazon yet. Debating on that. I got 8,000 things to do. I'm trying to pick out the most profitable first. Now, here's a funny one. So my client that I run the Walmart account with, he messages me yesterday. He goes, Lucy, this listing, and I got to check into it, it's on my to-do list today. The customer sees it, it's correct, but on the back end, it's all in Spanish. Did you do this? I'm like, yo hablo un poquito. Not enough to do listings in Spanish yet. I don't know. But I was chuckling over that one. I'm going, how the hell did we do that? Because he doesn't speak fluent Spanish, to my knowledge. And nobody that he's worked in the account, like, how would it have gone into... That's not something you just randomly have happen. Like, you don't randomly have things be written in Spanish. Anyhow, Melinda says, I've been on Walmart for over 90 days. I think you'll like it. Yeah, it's all right. I don't think the UI is not as... It's different than Amazon. The listing part is a little different. It's not bad. Sending an inventory to Amazon, it's getting a little bit better. What I don't like is that if you have a merchant fulfilled item and then you say, okay, I'm going to fulfill it by Walmart as well, it doesn't populate when you go to do the WFS, like replen from that angle. You have to kind of go and manually send it in. And then once it's in there, then it will show you the replenishment part, because that's what I got to work on is sending in replens now that we're starting to pick up on sales. Let's see here. We had somebody ask expiration date site for beauty products. Listen, guys, sometimes there's a reason I don't respond to comments. It's called, if you can Google it, I'm not your Google. I'm not your Google person. Like, go Google beauty site expiration date. It's like one of the first 3 things that pop up every time I do it. So you asking on the channel would just mean that I'm going to go Google it and then I'm going to link you a site, which you can do. Just do it yourself. You're going to
Google is your friend.
Yeah, it's clunky, but the sales are great. Yeah. I mean, we're trying to project right now. We're working on Halloween, right? So trying to project if we had, let's say we sold 150 of this item last year during September, October, how much should I fulfill for Walmart? Like, should I do half of that? It's going to be about the same.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's all going to be learning. It'll all be something new.
Kylene says, listing WFS is a nightmare and slightly glitchy. Yeah, I've had it glitch out and just done. More high price alerts than Amazon, and I was listening yesterday, literally watching my items go back and forth between seller and FSS. Yeah, it's kind of a weird. I also don't like that the inventory is together. So when you see your listing, you have your SKU, and then it says like 45 in stock, and 20 would be merchant fulfilled, and 25 is at the fulfillment center. Receiving in takes quite a bit of time too, which is kind of unfortunate. Not anything better or worse really than Amazon. Amazon takes forever to get things in. Somebody asked on eBay for lithium batteries. You know what? On shipping and hazardous shipping rules are written by the DOT, Department of Transportation, and all shipping companies need to follow DOT rules. So it has nothing to do with eBay. It has to do with how you're shipping. So whoever you're shipping with, whether it's FedEx, UPS, USPS, you have to follow their hazmat rules, period. It doesn't matter if you sell it on Mercari or eBay or anything. So just do that. Some of the price alerts go away when you become a pro seller. Okay, that's good to know. He is a pro seller, so that is good. Somebody asked, can I change, go the other way around? So if you are using merchant fulfilled barcodes and you want to go to Amazon barcodes, or you accidentally listed in Amazon barcodes and your manufacturer's like, but we don't want to change the barcode. Yes, you can change your listing back and forth between manufacturer barcode and Amazon barcode if you do not have inventory in stock. If you have inventory in stock at Walmart or at Amazon fulfillment center, then no, you cannot do that. So that's kind of that. Let's see here. Something about taxes. I set tax to general tax code, but when I buy my product on Amazon, there are 0 taxes taken out on the shopping cart. Any idea how to fix this? I live in Nevada, and the Nevada is listed as a default tax code. What am I missing? I'm not sure, because it depends. Taxes are funny. I have to, in order to pay taxes, the item has to ship within Washington and be delivered to Washington, and then I have to pay taxes. But if I buy it and it's shipping from a different state into Washington, then sometimes I don't have to pay taxes. And if it's food, then sometimes you don't have to pay taxes. So you can go and check your settings, and there's not a whole lot to the settings. It's very basic settings. We got just a couple more here. Somebody asked about that. I already had answered that one. Eligible for fulfillment fee savings, enroll in ships in product packaging. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
I remember when that was first rolled out.
Oh man, that means if you I had a shirt the other day that delivered, and the shirt, you put your shirt in a poly bag, they're just going to slap a label on that poly bag and ship it out. One, you're going to have more damaged and more complaints. And I don't like that program. I want my stuff to go into a box and get packaged and not delivered to the customer like that. Let's see here. If there's anything else. I listed some Squishmallow toys once and received approval to sell them. Then Amazon sent me a requirement message for them saying they need to be tested. Yeah, that's child safety testing. Anything that you have that is for child safety will have to have that type of certificate. That's another one that is not taught in courses that do a lot of PL from Alibaba. They'll be like, oh yeah, you can do this train set. And I get on the phone. It was a train set or a block, sorry, but it had wooden trains to it. And I'm like, but where's the child safety testing? They're like, the course didn't say I needed that. No, because the course just wanted to sell you your course. And then they leave out that kind of stuff. Somebody asked what a lot code means on a beauty product. Again, go Google it. That might be almost it. Hold on. A lot of gratitude posts. Tina, thank you, thank you. We always appreciate going through the comments and having people say thank you for us trying to do this content. So we appreciate that for sure. ASIN related, so this will be the last question here. For example, we already did this one. So that one's fine. Okay. What else do we got here? Trying to help a brand update his images. Any tips to making them actually update? Oh, that's a good one. Been there, done that. Yeah, I have had trouble with the main image getting swapped back and forth. For help though, I use Canva. I use 2000 pixel by 2000 pixel. Download as a JPEG or a PNG. PNG or JPEG are my go-tos for downloading. And then do the 2000 by 2000 pixel because if it's not zoomable, sometimes you'll have problems with that getting uploaded. And then if you have, let's see if I get this right. If you have a parent with pictures on it, and then you have children that have pictures, sometimes the parents get defaulted and the children don't. So you have to go into the parent, delete the pictures out of the parent, and make sure they're just on the child. And if that doesn't work, delete all the pictures, delete them all off your parent, delete them all off your children, wait 24 hours, and then re-up only to the children, and that should override and fix it.
Yeah, I always recommend to never give a parent a picture. No. I never do that, only the children.
Unless if you were doing, like, let's say I'm doing this box of Kleenex, and you're only doing a multi-pack variation, like a pack of 3, pack of 4, pack of 6, or whatever, then that's the only time I'd ever do pictures on the parent. Otherwise, they fight. They fight over who's going to get shown, and it's obnoxious. So I would rather just go and upload them on the children, which I am having trouble with on eBay. It's kind of weird because I'll do the children on the eBay and the variations, and then when you go look at your listing, there's no picture. It just has that photo that's kind of blanked out. All right, do we have anything else? Because that was a lot.
I got nothing. I shared all the things I had to share today.
We always get off the phone though, and you were like, "Oh, we forgot this," or "Oh, we forgot that," and what happened here?
Yeah, well, because maybe you said something that jogged a thought.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. But no, in my mind, everything that I knew I wanted to talk about, I did.
Yes. If anybody is wanting to join in on class action stuff, shoot us a little message over on Facebook or make a post over on Facebook, and we can I think we can add you to that list, right? Or no?
I don't see why not, because we're definitely trying to gather names for those that have been affected.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then I got to call my lawyer and tell my lawyer to talk to your lawyer to get in on this class action or something. I don't know. I'm a few steps away from driving down to Amazon headquarters and knocking on the door and being like,
look, you're close enough to do so.
I know I am.
That would be great. I wish you would. And wear a little GoPro mini cam.
You're like, who's this Karen at the front?
Lucy enters Amazon headquarters. And then, of course, you're going to have to blur out faces and things that are proprietary information.
You've got this all mapped out, like you've thought about it.
No, I haven't. This is my just initial scheming thoughts.
We'll see. All right. Yeah, usually what happens in these things is they'll they'll get some teeth behind some of the barking here, and then they'll change tactics, and all of a sudden things will change. I'll watch that.
Go rogue. Enter in Amazon.
Should I wear all black? Should I gotta get something that is
with your flashlight?
aggressive. Yeah. All right, we're mapping this out. To be continued.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching us. We appreciate you always, and we'll see you next Friday.
Yep. See you next Friday.